Hi everyone. Today's message is specifically for the ones who can identificate themselves as light bearers, light workers, empaths, whatever feels good for you. Um, it's a very specific message that I really feel is entering our consciousness at the moment. But first, I want to start off with how much dense energies are dissolving in our system at the moment. The past week have been crazy if it comes to old mud that is bubbling up to the surface and ancestral identifications, patterns, and trauma that we are getting rid of at the moment in a pretty rapid pace. As I already mentioned in a short that I made a few days ago, that it's going fast. We're going pretty fast at the moment, and when there are things that we have trouble with facing or trouble with working through, we can find ourselves in anxiety, in stress, in restlessness. So the moment you feel you're in anxiety and stress, take time to slow down and to see what it is that you have problems with of letting go, that you have problems with of allowing. I think allowing is for me a better way of saying to let go, because once we allow, it's just energy moving through, and when we allow it, the energy that wants to be felt is disappearing in a much more delicate way, in a much more graceful way than when we want to avoid or fight it. But let's get to because these are very exciting times for a select group of us, and what is really what I really feel is going on at the moment. I wrote some things down. For a select group of us, single-minded devotion to Source is becoming a path for a select group of souls, especially the old souls who have been wandering the universe and this planet for quite a while and have this yearning to be reunited with the deep, vast ocean that's called Source. And I feel this yearning very deeply inside of me. My practice is becoming more serious. My devotion to Source is becoming a love affair, where before life was the love affair, or life was the love and hate affair, because it's always a duality with life. Love to people, love to work, love to certain materialistic things, you name it. Now I feel so much passion and really the urge to re-strengthen my relationship to Source more and more. I'm starting to it's becoming my number one priority, my number one relationship. So if you see this symbolic, the ocean is Source, is unity, and there are always a lot of rivers coming out to the ocean. And we have been, especially souls who are still not ready with 3D world, with duality, they tend to step out of the river when they see something that they like. Oh, I'm gonna rest here for a while. I'm gonna see what this is. and they want to hold on to things, and we have done that too. We stepped out of that river that wanted to mount us out into the deep vast ocean of unity, but we stepped out multiple times in multiple situations, like, no, I'm just gonna grab onto this, or I cannot let go of this, or this is interesting. And we have done that already for so many lifetimes, and now there is a select group of us that is feeling such an urge to come home, and is feeling that all the stepping out stations are not really doing it for us anymore. I would like to call it spiritual maturation. We've came here. We've come here for a specific goal, and maybe for a long time you haven't really felt what it was that you were doing here, and especially old souls have that problem. Like, what am I doing here? I don't relate to anything or anyone. And so it might be that you already, maybe for a while, but now especially, feel you are being initiated, that you really feel this sacred calling to devote yourself to source and to deepen it. And I don't know if you guys can relate, but lately I feel talking a lot or conversing a lot with people really exhausts me. It's because source is becoming such a big part of my consciousness, that everything that is a little bit off of that frequency, I can handle only for a short amount of time, and then at one point I just want to go back to the stillness of source. So the call is becoming stronger. Um, so for me, being in stillness, um, being is becoming such a more important practice. It's not even a practice, because it's just where you want to go back to. Just like when your phone is out of energy, battery, it needs to get linked to the electricity. And that is how it feels for a lot of souls right now too. Anything outside of vibing with source is becoming exhausting. Um, that brings me to the second message I really got. It's closely linked to the first one. Is we are feeling at the moment, and already for a few weeks, it's at its highest point. It's already here for at least, I feel it, at least for a year. Is this anger? This is anger that is so deeply felt in us, and we are purging a lot of it right now. And it's a very beautiful thing, because I find that a lot of people always talk so negatively about anger, and it's a low frequent vibe and all that kind of things, and I don't see it as such. For me, anger is such a potent energy to try to understand, and to, once understood, it gives us such profound wisdom in what to let go of, and where our integrity lies, and where our values lie. And I wrote down, no more scattering pearls to the pigs. And I think a lot of us can recognize this, that walking around as an old soul on this earth, still not really spiritual matured. Everybody wants to be understood, wants to experience intimacy and connection with the world around us. And empaths, light bearers, light workers have the tendency to not, from a young age, to not clearly see, and who can blame you, because it is hard to understand and to see when you don't have undergone an awakening. have scattered pearls all over the place so profoundly. So in this time frame, there is this anger inside. It's a positive anger, an anger inside of us rising that is saying no more. I'm not going to degrade myself to to scatter something that worthy, that valuable to people who are not ready yet to receive it. And there is no wrong or right side. I'm not talking about, oh, we are so good and we are so evolved. It's nothing to do with it. It's everything to do about how to remain healthy and empowered yourself. And energies are lately really are crystallizing, alchemizing this anger into getting a backbone. We are really developing a strong core, and we are really developing roots in the earth, and standing strong for ourselves, and standing up and speaking up for ourselves, not in an aggressive way, but in a way that we honor our own depth, we honor our own values, we honor our own integrity. And it has a lot to do with spiritual maturation, because the reason why a lot of us have been scattering pearls all over the place is we wanted to be seen. When we are not completely awakened, then we have a lot of neglect from upbringing inside of us, and almost everybody has that, because we just simply live in a world where we don't have the luxury to be grown up in a family that is awake or conscious. Only a select maybe will experience that, but most of us will go through this. Yeah, you know how the process happens. We come to this earth, and we forget completely who we are, because we soak up all the information that we get from our parents, with all of the survival mechanisms and the identifications. So we are going on this crucifixion to get the love, or to get the attention, to be seen, to be acknowledged. And this is with these dense energies that at the moment are really dissolving like crazy. This is coming up, the very old inner child dramas that were fire for the fragmented selves to go out there and believe in this illusion of getting something out there to be filled with, to become whole with. And this illusion is completely being scattered right now. We're starting to see, not in an intellectual level, because we already seen that for years, but we are really becoming an embodiment of deep felt understanding of the only romance that is important is the romance with source. The only relationship that we really have to nourish to stay healthy and to stay aligned is the relationship with source. So what else have I wrote down? Yeah, this is also an important one. So more souls start to undergo a deep understanding of the need to seal their inner work from life. And that is the healthy consequence of this. When we start realizing that life influences that come to us are only grind for the mill, are only catalyst to alchemize shadow sides into light, we start to create a more healthy relationship to the outside world. I experience that I don't take life, and what I mean with life is engaging with the everyday influences and people and situations and responsibilities not so serious anymore. They are just input to work with, to only strengthen the relationship with Source more and more. So before, maybe there was still this taking life as the only form of reality, where now a lot of us are starting to understand that outside life it is only input, is only grind for the mill. And this is really a spiritual maturation where a lot of people that are that call themselves light workers or call themselves light bearers are experiencing right now. We are becoming more serious in embodying what we became here to be, and it takes a form of responsibility. It hasn't been um, at least a very. It's not as simple. We are not walking a very simple path. But it is the path we came here to walk, and with every wisdom, with every depth, there comes responsibility. And to embody this kind of wisdom, to embody this kind of integrity, takes a lot of fullness inside of us, or as you like to call it, maybe a lot of emptiness. Because when we become completely emptied out, when we become completely void of identification with outside things or with anything that's not source, when we become void of that, we can let source take its place, and we become our vibrant lighthouse that we always became here to be. Maybe not consciously, but I know a lot of us are now at the point of their lives that they really feel their path here in life, and they really feel direction. Yes. Um, mhm. Yes, these are the most important things that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you are doing well, and much love.